Uh, Good morning, and thank you so much, the Ministry of Trade and Industry and Energy from Korea for inviting the Vietnam Customs to join this very useful international conference on the trade and security 2021. Actually, I'm very glad because it is so fantastic that I'm the fourth woman speakers in these sessions. Even my presentation is not so comprehensive like the others. But anyway, I hope that my presentation will give you some information about the Vietnam enactment of the export control and policy. Now let's move to my presentation. We have 5 parts in my presentation. The first one, I will give you some statistics on export and import of Vietnam to the ASEAN countries. And the second part is our legal and regulation framework. Next part is the enforcement and investigation, of course, also the prosecutions of violations. I also touch up on the industry outreach, of course, because this is a very important part in the chase control system. And last but not least is ongoing programs in Vietnam. That is the DACB we receive from our donors. Coming to the statistic in the screen, you can see here is our export and import to ASEAN countries in 3 years from the 2018 until 2020. And you can see that the export and import volume growth yearly. Not only ASEAN countries, but the others. We also is the export surplus countries. And we reach approximately the 10 to 20 billion US dollar per year. As far as you may know that Vietnam is one of the top 20 largest exporting countries over the world, and we have 5 top export partners such as ASEAN, EU, USA, China, Japan, and Korea. And we have some export goods, top export goods such as electrical machinery, footwear and winters, clothing, accessories, the plastics, the furnitures and bedding, fish and crustaceans, and we also have some edible fruit and nuts, etc. And as like the other countries, we also have to face with the new trends. As far as you may know, we are changing softly from the simple to high-tech products. The export commodities will become more complicated and have more dual use and sensitive items. So the Vietnam export control system has to adopt with new area and new change of the international integrations with the, of course, opportunities and threats as well as the challenge arising from the export growth. We have signed 16 FTA, and we also have to face with the terrorisms, of course, with the weapons and transnational crime, and we also have to face with the trade remedy with the origin flows and transshipments. And regarding to our legal and regulatory framework, of course, we have to follow the international treaties and commitment. And apart from that, our government also have some regulations on the export control in specifying in our commercial laws. And regarding to the line ministries, We also issue circulars and legal documents to control on the specific items. And we also have other related documents such as the criminal code, the law on handling of administrative violations, and of course the custom laws also. Now let's move to in detail with the legal and regulatory framework. We have the regulations on import and export goods with the list of the prohibitions like the weapons and ammunitions, explosive materials, and also the military technical equipments. And regarding to the commodities subject to the ministerial management, the goods must be comply with the international treaties published by our Ministry of Industry and Trade from time to time, and the such good will have the permits from those license agencies. And we also have a list of the commodities of pure commercial natures, such as the agricultural products, aquatic products, etc. And now, as far as you may know that, we have to face with the trade war between the big economies. So at this moment, we focus much on the control of the commodity exporting from Vietnam that they are in doubt of the original fraud, and we pay attention to the simple processing goods as well as the transited goods. And from the custom perspective, we are the implementing agencies, so we have to carry out our enforcement, investigation, and the prosecutions of violations. And for the custom enforcement, we follow the custom laws, and before leasing some goods for export, we have to check the export license issued by license agencies such as MOIT, and we have to check the HR code of the goods, and then we carry out our procedures. And of course, apart from the import and export goods, we also have to pay our attention to the goods temporarily imported for re-export and the goods transited through Vietnam. And we have to provide the goods transited in Vietnam during the time they stay in Vietnam and try and exit across the roads as regulated. We also have to carry out our custom procedures at border gates and operations in the special control areas. And for custom enforcement and investigation, now we are applying the risk management, and we also have some device, for example, like camera surveillance system and containers scanned in order to ensure the requirement of controllability and of course to facilitate the trade activities. And whenever we have some investigation case, we also have to cooperate with the other ministries like the National Defense or Internal Affairs and others stipulated by laws. And with regards to sanctions, both criminal and administrative, in order to deter and prevent the violations in this area. And we also have some penalty, like ranging from the financial penalty, surveillance, and even the imprisonment. And we also know the importance of the industry outreach At this moment, we do not have any registered company like Singapore, Malaysia, or Philippines. We just are rich in the way of making sure that the private agencies actively participated in the policy making process, especially the regulations related to trade management. And whenever we promulgating the regulatory documents, we have to publish in the official newspaper, gazettes, and a book or compendium in the workshop or event. And as far as you may know that, up to now, we received the technical assistance from US and EU, and they have three components. The main three one is technical assistance and capacity building for officers in identifying the dual-use goods. And up to now, we have the commodity identification training for custom college. And the second one, the second component is the legal review for the Ministry of Industry and Trade in developing the strategic trade control. And the third component that they sponsored the equipment such as the porter tool, the radioactive scanners for transportation means and passengers. And in conclusion, the growth in export of Vietnam may occur risks for trade fraud and may threat the safety and security for the people. Thus, in the coming time, Vietnam should focus on setting up the export control system and strategic trade control. And of course, we would like to promote the cooperations with other countries, international organizations to ensure that to ensure the safety and security of the world supply chains. And that is end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.